So it's Thursday the 20th of December. This is British in Italy committee. We've got Delia, Jeremy and Zoe. It's Gareth speaking. We've just come out of a meeting with high-level Italian officials regarding Brexit, and we're pleased to say that we've got some great news from them. And Delia, Jeremy and Zoe are just going to tell you all about it now. Go ahead.
Well, Babbo Natale has put on the red, white and green for Christmas for all the Brits living in Italy.
How's that, Jeremy? What's going on?
Well, I thought Julia was going to explain this bit.
For the immediate situation that most people have been worried about, that is what happens in the event of no deal, they have absolutely assured us they are working on legislation which will be in place before the 29th of March, so that even in the event of a no deal, we will all be legally resident, entitled to work and continue with our existing rights as they are now. That is the most important thing for most people. Going on from there, we have discussed with them what is likely to happen after that temporary period. They are working on legislation again, which they will work on with the Europeans, with Brussels. They are hoping to replicate insofar as possible the rights that we would have had under the withdrawal agreement if that was ratified. Obviously, if the withdrawal agreement is ratified by Britain, then all the things that have already been agreed remain. But the really, really good news is two things. You will be legally here on the 30th of March, 1st of April, and they are working on legislation now to make that happen.
And that's deal or no deal?
That's deal or no deal, yes.
Right.
So if it's deal, it is what's in the withdrawal agreement. If it's no deal, they are maintaining our current status for the moment, but working on things which will protect us longer term as well, so that we will maintain as much of the existing rights as are in the withdrawal agreement.
And whether or not there's a deal, the handover, the changeover from your existing situation to the new one is going to be as simple as possible, so that it will be a question of changing one piece of paper for another piece of paper, and very little more than that. But details will be announced on precisely what needs to be done later on.
Okay.
If you don't need to do anything on the 30th of March, your position then will be protected automatically by law, and any applications that have to be made will be further down the line.
And they said that they're going to put an official communique out about this quite shortly, I guess,
Yeah.
they implied.
Yes,
Right.
they have. They
Okay.
will.
The other thing we should also mention, for those who have applied for cittadinanza italiana, or are thinking of doing so, there's been a question as to whether you have to satisfy the 4-year residence requirement for EU citizens or the 10-year residence requirement for extracomunitari. If you apply at any time up to the 29th of March, you will be subject to the 4-year residence requirement for EU citizens, and that won't change on Brexit happening.
Fantastic.
And that means that those people who have got existing applications for citizenship, they will be judged on that existing criteria. There will be no change even if they have not been finished and finalised in process by the 30th of March.
Brilliant. Seems that the Italian ministers have really come up trumps for us, really, not to use the word Trump in the wrong light, but see, we're all quite happy today, I think, yeah?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's brilliant.
Zoe, there was another key issue that they mentioned, if you want to touch on that.
Yes, we are aware that some of you who are watching this video today won't have actually registered your presence in Italy as European Union citizens. And if you haven't done that, you do need to as soon as possible, because these measures that we've just heard about from Jeremy and Delia, they apply to people who are legally registered here. So you need to prove that you were here before Brexit date or before the end of the transition if the withdrawal agreement is ratified.
And one suggestion, a practical suggestion which was made in the meeting was, if you're applying for your residence, your EU residence now, do so by raccomandata or PEC, which is the email system, in order to have a record of the date when you applied, because that has to be before the 29th of March.
Just to be clear, I think that was raccomandato con ricevuto di ritorno.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the extra bit on there. But yeah, generally I think we're all happy with the outcome of today. Hopefully after yesterday's quite angst-provoking announcements. This is some really good news for people living in Italy, and should give us all a decent Christmas, yeah?
Indeed,
Absolutely.
yes.
A happy Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry
Can
Christmas.
enjoy it now.
Now you can, yes.